Good afternoon, everybody. Will you please bow your heads for me? Dear Heavenly Father, we gather here today to celebrate this milestone in the lives of the student doctors that sit before me. I pray that you would remind them of the calling that you have given them, and that you would also humble them as they prepare for a life of service. I pray that when they put on their white coats today, that they would feel not only a sense of accomplishment for getting to this point, but also a sense of ambition to live up to what the white coat represents. I pray that you would give them wisdom, and that when times get tough, that they would learn to lean on you, and that you would help them to see mistakes not as failures, but as opportunities to learn and grow. From this class, Lord, I pray that you would raise up not only great physicians, but also great leaders, educators, and world changers. I also pray for understanding in the lives of their families and friends as they see the time commitment and dedication that this path requires. I pray for patience and understanding from faculty as they mold us into future physicians. Lastly, Lord, I pray that each day of this journey, you would walk alongside these students, giving them confidence that they are exactly where you placed them. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Thank you, Student Dr. Dixon. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Good afternoon, students, families, friends, and special guests, and welcome to the 2018 White Coat Ceremony of the University of Pikeville's Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. My name is Dr. Dana Schaefer, and I am the Dean of KYCOM. I would like to take a moment to introduce the platform party. Please hold your applause until I have completed the introductions. On my right, Stephen Shannon, D.O., President of the American Association of Colleges of Osteopathic Medicine, and our keynote speaker. Vishnu Joshi, D.O., President-elect of the Kentucky Osteopathic Medical Association. Student Dr. Sherlyn Dixon, Class of 2021, President of the KYCOM Christian Medical Association. Student Dr. Jenna Sturtz, President of KYCOM Chapter of the Student Osteopathic Medical Association. Student Dr. Amber Sexton, President KYCOM Class of 2021. On my left, Dr. Burton Webb, President of the University of Pikeville. Laura Griffin, D.O., Assistant Dean for Osteopathic Practices and Principles Integration and Professor and Chair, Department of OPP. Student Dr. Mustafa Basri, Class of 2021, President of KYCOM SGA. Student Dr. Shelley Gupta, First Vice President, KYCOM SGA, and Steve Harris, PhD, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. Please welcome the platform party. At this time, I would like to call President Webb to the podium.
Thanks, Dana. It's great to be here with all of you today. I want to extend my welcome on behalf of the university as well. It is a special day in the lives of our young men and women when they get to don that white coat for the very first time. It is a significant moment, and one that I think not only you've been anticipating, but probably the people in the sides of the room have also been anticipating, moms and dads and grandpas and grandmas. But I do have one word of warning for those of you who sit on the sides of the room. Moms, where are you, moms? Raise your hands if you would. Don't expect them to call every night. Don't expect them to call every week. Maybe once a month would be good. Maybe right after they finish those block exams would be a good time to call mom. Get that? Where are my dads? Dads, don't expect them to come home and help. Don't expect them to paint or to fix things or to help you repair their car. They're going to be fully employed. They might not yet be physicians, but they have a full-time job. Ladies and gentlemen, your full-time job is to be a student, and we're very proud of you. We're very proud of the work that you're going to pour into this. And remember that today is not the goal. Being in this room again in 4 years is the goal. That's what you want, and that's what you're working toward. I want to take just a moment to introduce a couple of folks who are with us today. I saw on my way in at least one Board of Trustee member, Ron. I think Ron McCoy is sitting in the back there. Also, Governor and Judy Patton are with us today. our University Provost, Dr. Lori Worth, and last but not least, my lovely wife, Kay Webb. Would you please welcome all of them? Thank you, and let's get on with the ceremony.
Thank you, Dr. Webb. I'd like to recognize another group here with us today. Here at KYCOM, we have an outstanding faculty of whom I am very proud. Their dedication to the education of our students is one of the keys to the success of our students and graduates, and I would like them to stand and be recognized. In my view, this is the second most important ceremony conducted by the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine, second only to graduation that Dr. Webb mentioned just a second ago. The white coat ceremony was an idea conceived by Arnold P. Gold, by the Arnold P. Gold Foundation, a medical doctor, to create a psychology contract with professionalism and empathy in medicine. The first white coat ceremony took place in 1993 at Columbia's College of Physicians and Surgeons. Since then, more than 90% of the osteopathic and allopathic medical schools in the United States have initiated such a ceremony. This afternoon, the newest student doctors of KYCOM family, our class of 2022, will be coated and receive their DO touch pin, symbolizing the distinctiveness of our profession. Annually, we conduct this ceremony at the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine to mark the transition and commitment the members of this class are making from lay people to assuming the responsibilities of student physicians. Why is it necessary to mark this transition? Why is a focus on professionalism and empathy necessary for medical students who have nearly 4 more years of medical school, licensing board exams, block exams, residencies to finish, and state licenses to obtain? It is necessary because being a physician, an osteopathic physician, starts now. You, the members of the class of 2022, will increasingly be granted by society significant and hopefully humbling power and responsibility in your relations with your fellow human beings. In regard to the health and illness of their bodies, minds, and spirits, you must recognize this privilege and understand that you are no longer just students. As you heard me talk to you at orientation just a few weeks ago, you must walk, talk, act, eat, sleep, and most importantly, behave as physicians 24/7, 365. You must accept and embrace the mantle of professionalism bestowed upon you symbolically here today. As you develop the qualities that will make you outstanding osteopathic physicians, you will grow in knowledge and skills from the academic and clinical experiences you will encounter during your time as physicians in training. Class of 2022, you were selected to enter this profession, our osteopathic profession, because you have demonstrated abilities and the character necessary to succeed. Today, I congratulate you on your achievements thus far and encourage you in those accomplishments that are yet to come. It's now my great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker this afternoon. We are blessed to have with us as the speaker a man who is one of the great leaders of the osteopathic medical profession and a personal friend. Stephen C. Shenandoah, MPH, has been president of the American Association of Colleges of Osteopathic Medicine since January of 2006. Prior to assuming this position, he served as Vice President for Health Services and Dean at the College of Osteopathic Medicine at the University of New England for 11 years. Dr. Shannon earned his Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine degree in 1986 from the University of New England College of Osteopathic Medicine in Biddeford, Maine, and his Master's in Public Health degree in 1990 from Harvard University School of Public Health. He is board certified in osteopathic family practice and preventative medicine. He holds bachelor's and master's degrees in American history from the University of Maryland. As president of the American Association of Colleges of Osteopathic Medicine, Dr. Shannon serves as spokesperson on behalf of the nation's 34 colleges of osteopathic medicine, articulating the community's priorities and positions in a variety of national and international settings. Dr. Shannon also guides the association in fulfilling its vision and mission and in positively influencing state, federal, and executive branch policy. Dr. Shannon has strong professional interest in public health and preventative medicine and a major research areas of clinical outcome studies, health promotion, disease prevention, health professions workforce, rural medicine, and medical school curriculum. He is a past president of the Federation of Association of Schools of the Health Professions and currently serves as vice president of the Interprofessional Education Collaborative. Dr. Shannon has a long history of leadership and service in public health. Prior to his appointment as dean, he served as the director of occupation and environmental health at Maine Bureau of Health. In addition, Dr. Shannon is also past president of the Maine Biomedical Research Coalition and a member of the state's Biomedical Research Board. He was instrumental in implementing biomedical research expansion within the University of New England, targeting such areas as impact on diabetes and heart disease, neurophysiology of pain, memory, and addiction. He has received numerous awards, most recently the 2016 Phillips Medal of Public Health given by the Ohio Heritage College of Osteopathic Medicine and the 2016 Dale Dotson Award for Leadership. Actually, I cut that introduction down quite a bit. We would still be here for probably another 10 minutes if I continue to give you all the accolades that Dr. Shannon has received. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Stephen C. Shannon, D.O.
My mother would be proud of that, Dana. Thank you. It's a real pleasure to be here. I've been to this school, I think this is the fourth time I was here with the first dean, Dean Strohsnyder. I was here with Dr. Boozer when he was here, and now it's a real pleasure to be back again and have seen the development of this institution, which has just been remarkable in the impact it's had on this community writ large. So thank you for inviting me here for this important day. And really, I want to spend most of my time talking to you all, the entering and now matriculated first-year students. I'm going to tell you a story. Shortly after I began my internship at the Osteopathic Hospital of Maine in Portland, Maine, I was called to the emergency room to admit a patient who had been brought in by ambulance after having passed out in the shoe factory where he worked. Although I had only graduated from the University of New England College of Osteopathic Medicine a month or two before, I had quickly fallen into the pace of the hospital, the hard work, the long hours, and the sudden responsibility that was mine. This patient was a male shoemaker in his early 50s, a stitcher from a town named Bridgeton, small town about 25 miles west of Portland. Now, a stitcher is one that takes pieces of leather and either with their hands or machines sews those pieces together to form the upper part of a shoe that is then attached to the sole to create the shoe. It is a part of the production process that had grown up over 100 years before in the shoe factories along the banks of the rivers in Maine, small towns where before electricity, the machines were driven by water, powered by the water cascading down from the White Mountains toward the Atlantic Ocean. That industry is largely dead now, but it was still very present in the 1980s when I graduated and was an intern. When I met this patient in the emergency room, he was conscious, somewhat diaphoretic, he was pale, He had a higher than normal blood pressure and pulse rate, and he was pretty hesitant to tell me anything. In fact, all he said was that he was okay and wanted to go home. My impression was that he didn't like hospitals, he didn't like doctors, and he wasn't telling me anything that was the real story. We worked him up for a variety of potential conditions, needing to rule out several possibilities from diabetes to epilepsy to heart problems. But the only distinguishing laboratory results were dehydration and hematuria, or blood in his urine. I convinced him to let us admit him for further workup. Now, there are a lot of reasons that one might have blood in the urine, and you will all probably learn some interesting mnemonics to help you remember them. But in this instance, it was urolithiasis, or renal or kidney stones, which is, of course, one of the most painful conditions one can experience, sometimes described as worse than the pain experienced by some women during the birth of a child. Yet this man denied he had any pain, even when his signs, his sweaty brow, his rapid heartbeat, his elevated blood pressure, the fact that he had passed out, were telling me different. I put him on pain medication, hydrated him with an IV, started antibiotics, and told him what was going on and why I thought he had passed out. And then, even though 90% or more of kidney stones are eventually excreted, I avoided wisecracking, "This too shall pass," because I didn't think he'd get it or appreciate it, but fortunately, his too did pass. He was in the hospital for 3 or 4 days, and I checked on him frequently, reassured him that he would be released soon, and got to know him a bit, finally. He had been making shoes since he had dropped out of high school in his teens, so for nearly 40 years. And that was what he liked to talk about: the kind of shoes he made, how he was dead-on accurate in his ability to look at someone's feet and tell them what size shoes they wore, how he liked hand stitching the best and was very good at it, and how in his industry he did pretty well as long as the hours were steady. The worst times were during layoffs, when he'd work at a variety of other jobs. But he was a good, reliable worker, he said, and was always among the first to get called back when the work was there. He was one of many patients going on in my exhausting life as an intern. Once he was released, I more or less forgot about him until one day, about 2 weeks later, the hospital switchboard operator paged me and told me that someone had dropped off something for me at reception. And I went down and I found a box. And when I opened the box, it contained a pair of shoes and a note. And the note said, "I made these for you. Thanks for taking care of me. P.S. I thought I was going to die." This man was a stoic, nonverbal, proud, and hard-working Mainer. He denied the pain he was in, simply refused to admit it. Most of the communication was from me to him, but somewhere along the line, he must have guessed my shoe size because they fit perfectly. I wore them out, wore them for years, and then carried them around for years, keeping them in my closet, until somewhere along the line, I'm sure my wife having something to do with it, they disappeared. I wish I still had those shoes. He was a patient that I learned as much from as I did in any classroom or clinical setting. I learned that there are many ways to communicate and many ways to listen. It was a learning experience that both reaffirmed my decision to become an osteopathic physician and helped shape the kind of relationship I would establish with patients in the years ahead. And I'm sure that the values I had received in my training to touch and respect and treat the whole person are what earned me those shoes. Now, indeed, you will come to understand that the delivery of healthcare for the people in our communities takes many things: leadership, teamwork, a focus on discovering new knowledge, and a commitment to implementing best practices. But to truly make a lasting impact on the health of your patients, you must learn how to communicate, respect, and treat the whole person. And through your education here, you will. The University of Pikeville, Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine is an exceptional institution with an exceptional mission and an exceptional track record. Being here today means that you are a part of a select group of individuals who possess the potential, dedication, intellect, and character to embark on the years of work it will take to achieve your dreams of becoming a physician. The white coat that you will be given in today's ceremony is a symbol of your transition. This coat signifies your place in the clinical learning environment where you will learn to become a member of the team that will care for the patients you will encounter. You will come to have the unique and intimate access to the lives of individuals and their families that is granted to physicians. A special relationship that is built on trust, on integrity, on professionalism. This is one of the many white coats you will have during your time as a student, as a resident, and as a practicing physician. But this first one is a special token that marks your entry on this pathway, as you are welcomed into the student doctor community. Wear it proudly as you learn to improve the lives of others. Later today, as you read aloud the osteopathic oath besides your classmates, pay attention to the words and their meaning. You are taking the first steps to joining a distinguished profession, one that directly impacts the lives of others, and this is not something to be taken lightly. The road you're about to embark on is not easy, but I have a feeling that you already know that. You're going to get tired and frustrated, and you're going to doubt yourself from time to time. In the face of extreme stress, I ask you to remember a most critical element of your success, one that is in constant danger of falling victim to the time and pressures that medical students, residents, and even physicians experience. That daily routine that can be seen to drive you down. But remember, the personal characteristics that moved you to follow this path, the empathy you have for your patients who will rely on you. Hold tightly to your family, hold tightly to your friends, and trusted classmates and colleagues, and to your own inspirational foundations, and lean on them when you need support through stressful times. As I look out at you, I see a bright future for medicine. Thank you for inviting me to share this very special day with you. I offer you my most heartfelt congratulations for making the decision to follow the osteopathic pathway to become caring osteopathic physicians. And I know that you will have a positive impact and improve the lives of thousands of patients in the future when you complete and continue on this journey. Thank you very much.
And now it's my introduction. He's already halfway up here. It's my pleasure to introduce student Dr. Mustafa Basri to come up and give some student remarks.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, Madam Provost, Dean Schaefer, Dr. Shannon, distinguished faculty, my colleagues, and your families. On behalf of the student body, I want to welcome you to the 2018 White Coat Ceremony at the University of Pikeville, Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine, and to congratulate both the students and their families and guests on the exceptional achievement of starting medical school. But before I start, students, I'm sure that your families love you and are incredibly proud of you today. These are the very people who have raised you, who've had your back when the chips were down, and the very people who are here today to see you begin one of the most exciting chapters of your adult lives. So please, take 5 seconds, stand up, wait, look for your families, and wave thank you to them. Thank you. That thank you is for the tireless dedication that they have shown you throughout the years. But this is it. Today is finally happening. Today is the day you've been waiting to update your 2-year-old Facebook profile picture to up those likes on Instagram, and to give your mom and dad reasons to brag about how awesome you are. They said to include a joke or a quote or something, so there you go. Friends and colleagues, the white coat you're holding in your lap represents the first step on a wonderful journey of lifelong learning, a life of authenticity, of ethical and honorable conduct. My fellow students, a few weeks ago, you took your first block exam. Regardless of how it went, regardless of how little unicorns Dr. Soltis shared with you, sorry, Dr. Soltis, take a moment to reflect on it. Now, I'm not a doctor yet, but I know that I won't recite the Krebs cycle to my patients. Sorry, Dr. Younger. But see, your patients trust that you took the time, shed the tears, drank the bourbon, whatever it is, I'm sorry, I digress, to study for endless hours. I would be remiss of my duties as SGA president if I did not mention to you the challenges that you'll face in the coming years. Between getting the block week blues and drowning your sorrows in Oreos, getting ready for board exams, and prepping for your first rotations with real patients, there will be times of self-doubt and times of crisis. And when you yell, "Why am I even doing this?" remember, you're doing it for your patients. One of the questions I was asked in my interview was, "What's your support system?" I thought that was odd a little bit. But see, you don't go through medical school alone. Your family, friends, and loved ones go through it as well. As you're buried under the books, getting ready for your next block exam, spend time checking in on your family, checking in on your significant others. Take care of yourself and check your own pulse first. Friends, I urge you to believe in yourselves as families here today have believed in you and to believe in one another. Each one of you has risen to accept the supreme privilege and responsibility, and we, your University of Pikeville and KYCOM family, look forward to sharing in your success. As DOs, we pride ourselves on the compassion for our patients and for the familial nature of our profession. And so I urge you, class of 2022, to take good care of one another as you would your own family. As John Lennon once said, life is what happens when you're busy. And my friends, life will certainly happen. Life will certainly happen to many of you along this journey. Strive to be there for each other and to truly be the other's keeper. And know that we, your KYCOM family, are here to support you in pursuing your dreams, and that we're beaming with pride today to honor you with your white coats. And so, congratulations to each one of you, and thank you. It is my absolute honor to coat you today.
Okay, you ready? It's time to come up and get your coats. Dr. Harris, I will turn things over to you.
Will the class of 2022 please come to the stage? Shariar Abbasi. Jefferson Adams. Ala Al-Galayini. Iqbal Joed Ali. Maze Alwan. Thomas Baxter. Amy Beard. Carly Bentz. Kirsten Bevins. Kirkland Blackburn. Shelby Blanton. Joseph Bloomer. Emily Borgaminki. Brianne Bowers. William Brady. Vanna Breeding. Adrienne Ruckles. Avery Buckles. Colin Boudet. Daniel Kane. Jessica Cannon. Brianna Capron. Seth. 'Seth. 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 ' Christina Chan. Robert Christensen. Carly Clemens. Philip Cleves. Dylan Collins. Shauna Combs. Alexander Cook. Jared Cottingham. Joseph Cox. Michaela Dennison. Sunil Devkota. Colin Doherty. Todd Dunaway. David Elkins. Jordan Elliott. Morgan Finn. Perez Jen. Sadia Gohir. Nikhil Grandi. Dominic Grasso. John Gutierrez. Keenan Hacker. Emily Haley. Stephen Hall. Caitlin Halsey. Brandon Ham. Andrew Hanala. Andrew Hartley. Waverly Abear. Megan Hedgepeth. Taylor Herman. Rebecca Hinsberg. Caitlin Hunt. Javade. William Johnson. Madison Jupina. Sarah Kasmerick. Satinder Kaur. Akil Kavori. Ian Keith. Santrupti Kemper Rogers. Hiba Khan. Kristen Markham. Morgan Matthews. Olivia May. Christopher Moore. Leah Moorfield. Ryan Morales. Omer Muqtadir. Jessica Mutters. Mohammed Nair. Stuart Orange. Javed Osmani. Douglas Owen. Rathisha Pathmathasan. Andrea Perrin. Preston Perry. Manisha Pignani. Alexandra Rice. Emily Roby. Joseph Resch. Jared Rollins. Joseph Rollins. Kelsey Russell. Sahar Safi. Ashley Salim. Abdul Salam Salam. John Sanford. Nicole Santos. Rishikesh Savalia. Christine Schmeling. Aaron Schneider. Savannah Schneider. Hannah So. strike. Alexander Suffrage. Paige Swan. Eugene Tandukar. Ethan Thacker. Marilyn Thomas. Victoria Thompson. Ashley Thornsberry. Holly Toy. Kelly Vandermark. Brock Vervillis. Dean Waltart. Lauren Wasserman. Thomas Westfall III. Justin Whittington. Teddy Woods.
So let's all congratulate the class of 2022. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the president-elect of the Kentucky Osteopathic Medical Association, Vishnu Joshi, DO. Dr. Joshi is a board-certified in family medicine, is working at Norton Medical Group in Louisville. He is here today representing the Kentucky Osteopathic Medical Association. Please welcome Dr. Joshi.
Wow. Okay. I would like to first thank Dr. Dana Schaefer for having me here to represent Kentucky Osteopathic Medical Association. And then secondly, I would congratulate the class of 2022. This is the difference that you're seeing before and after is you are all looking similar. I cannot tell who's sitting there. So you all been unified together, and this is what A.D. Still said is, body is a single unit. I want you all to work together. Take this motto with you, and you all be welcome into the osteopathic family from here onwards. This is the stamp of you becoming a doctor from here on, okay? What better physician you could be other than an osteopathic physician? You will be addressing patient, and you'll be addressing patient at 3 levels: your physical, mental, and a spiritual level. I want you to take this philosophy, I want you to take this your motto, I want you to make this your mantra, and take it to every day, to your school, to your rotation, and once you graduate from the medical school into your residency, and thereon, okay? This will set you apart. This will help you connect to the patient at a deeper level and to make you a better physician. Also, cherish these moments because you all have come through some difficulties in your life to get into where you are right now. And if it not be your family and your friends, those who are here, it would be very, very hard to be here. And this is what you look for in your difficult time. Anybody who's sitting to your left and to your right, you're gonna see those faces all the time. Anatomy lab, OMT lab, and who knows where else, okay? So you will get like this. So take the strength of your colleague, take the strength of your family, and once you're into the real world as a physician, you also have another family there, is the Osteopathic Medical Association, the state association. And we are there to help you, we are there to connect you to your peers, we are there to connect you with your leaders and the physicians that you have any kind of interest and any help you need in your path to become a full osteopathic physician. We are, as a state association, we are completely volunteered to do the work what we do. We provide the CMEs, we provide the advocacy work, and we provide the leadership into the several committees to all the osteopathic physicians in the state of Kentucky. We are here to represent the osteopathic physician in the state of Kentucky. And this is what you would look for if you stay in Kentucky, or if you're gonna go into any other state, you'll be looking into that state association. So without taking too much of your time, again, enjoy the time this weekend with your family, and then tomorrow onwards, going back into the school and study.
Put these down to short person height. Would the class of 2022 please stand and say the Pledge of Commitment with me? You can repeat after me. As I embark upon the study of medicine at the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine, I will enter into a relationship of mutual respect with my teachers and my colleagues to enhance the learning environment and gain the knowledge, skills, and attitudes of a competent osteopathic physician. Accept responsibility only for those matters for which I am competent. Maintain the trust expected of an osteopathic physician. And never take advantage of the patient-doctor relationship. Show compassion and respect for all others. Set worthy examples in the application of humanistic principles. In my relationships with patients and others. Within the Appalachian medical community. Work toward improving my sensitivity and skills in human interaction, understanding and respecting the differences among my patients and colleagues. Value the knowledge and wisdom of the physicians who have preceded me in the profession, and endeavor to contribute to the osteopathic tradition. Recognize my weaknesses and my strengths, and strive to develop those qualities that will earn the respect of my patients, my colleagues, my family, and myself. Continue learning throughout all the days of my life. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Go ahead and be seated. Before I close, I just want to acknowledge Dr. Philip Westgate, who's provided our music this afternoon. Dr. Westgate. This concludes the 2018 White Coat Ceremony of the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. Please stand and remain standing for the recessional. I would ask that you remain in your places until the platform, party, and the student doctors have exited. I invite all of you to join us for a reception on the concourse immediately following the recessional. I thank you all for joining us this afternoon for this very special occasion.